And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the ToutSuite Social Club headquarters. I'm Sean Quinn, and I'm here with Bryan Page of Page Wine Cellars and Revolver Wine Company. This is Meet Your Maker, brought to you by 55 Degrees Premier Wine Storage up in St. Helena. It is George Harrison's birthday.
Yes,
Johnny
it is.
Cash's birthday tomorrow, and we've got some great wine. We are finishing a bottle of Maker's Mark, which we started not today, but a little while ago. And we've got a great audience with us tonight. So thank you, everybody. And Mr. Page.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
Good. Thank you. Cheers.
Ciao, ciao.
Let's talk.
How many large bottles of Maker's Mark do you think you and I have gone through in our time together?
Well, in the 1 year alone, it was at least six.
Six. Yeah. So that was 1 year.
1 year.
There's been a few years in between then and
Yes.
now. Should we tell everybody how you and I know each other? I mean, this isn't our first time together, so
No.
they don't want to hear that story.
Bunny Ranch. What? Oh, no.
Turkish bath? What?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That one.
Okay.
We'll go with that one. We could tell them about the biscotti liqueur story at a particular winery's lobster feed.
Oh, that's right. Alpha Mega.
Rockstar.
Gotta love it.
We drank an entire bottle of biscotti liqueur that night.
Yes.
But we could talk about, what else could we talk about?
Let's talk about music, love, and rock and roll, and maybe a little vino.
Little vino?
Yeah,
We
you
have.
think?
You brought some
I
wine.
brought some wine.
We're drinking bourbon, but we
Drinking
can
bourbon.
talk about wine too.
Well, let's talk about bourbon.
Let's talk about bourbon.
So, kind of the kind of the stay here in the valley is it takes a lot of beer to make a fine wine.
Yeah, you and I swear that it takes a lot of bourbon to make great wine.
Right. Distill a son of a bitch, right?
Mhm.
Cheers.
Man,
So,
that's enough about bourbon.
that's enough of a burden.
You just got to drink plenty of it.
Because I've already had a couple.
Okay, we're gonna start talking about wine.
Yes, let's talk about wine.
Talk about Revolver,
Let's talk about Revolver. Let's talk about this.
because you got a couple different wines with you. You've got what looks like one from each of your three main brands. You've got Revolver, you've got Page, and you've got a special wine which we might want to save till later to talk about, or.
I have stuff from the Ghost Town series over there, but for the most part, what we're going to do is going to talk about white wines or the Cigar Band project, family label, and then our high-end stuff, and we're going to talk about punk rock and Fine to Vain.
And the fact that it's George Harrison's birthday
And George
tomorrow's
Harrison's birthday.
Johnny Cash, and we've
Right.
got plenty of music to talk about.
Let's drink.
Let's drink.
Okay,
Save that for a palate cleanser.
let's talk about Chenin Blanc. What are your thoughts, Hobson?
It's fun, and it's one of the most underappreciated and underutilized white varietals
Right.
to drink.
Right. It's interesting is that this is a project that dear friends of mine, Jameson, where's my baby? Christina, darling. The Earlies and I had brainstormed for years and finally made it happen. There's a lot of Clarksburg Chenin Blanc out there, but we're one of the few that actually just do it 100% Clarksburg Chenin Blanc. No Viognier, nothing of that nature. Tank fermented, and a little bit of barrel fermentation this year. Actually, about half the production for 2013 is going to be barrel fermented, which is really nuts. Neutral oak, but this kind of shows kind of a little stinkiness, which I love, but just above threshold sweetness. Really screeching high acidity though, and the idea is the inspiration is Vouvray or France, if you will, or Old World for that matter. I would rather do something that's just kind of can have fun in the glass. Mom's favorite wine back in the day was Pine Ridge Chenin Blanc.
Chenin Blanc.
I remember being at, what is that? P.F. Chang's. P.F. Chang's down in bloody San Diego across from UC. What is that? What is that mall? Anyone? What is that mall in San Diego, the big one? UTC. Thank you. Nordstrom. Yes, I was Nordstrom. I used to work at Nordstrom back in the day. But nonetheless, it's like we had a Pine Ridge Chenin Blanc, and that was inspiration way back in the day. So for my mom, I do two wines for her, this one here and the port, which we're not going to taste tonight. But it's just she works her ass off for my brother and I, and the reality is just like give her some things that make her happy. And you know, it was really cool just a few years ago when Jameson and Christina said, let's do some Chenin Blanc, and I said, that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. And this is definitely an old world style wine in a new world package.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like when we designed the label and everything, it was kind of a pain in the arse because a lot of techniques that we had to do just on the press line, if you will, to make this happen, because it wraps around. We had to be within a quarter of a millimeter on the nose when it came to the wrap on it, and then the overlay on the back here. So it's actually completely wrapped around.
Dialed in. Look at that.
So, and then another funny thing is that Mom and Dad are the ones that actually label these things, and it's funny watching them label because they're going, but they love each other. 50 years this year. 50 years Mom and Dad have been together, so pretty amazing.
Sure, there's been a few bottles of wine.
You guys drinking this noise?
Yeah, is there?
And you're drinking the red stuff, right?
Yeah, I was going to say.
But there's a bottle over there, and there's a couple more, so yeah.
Well, mine didn't last very long.
No,
it's freaking good. And this one was pretty interesting and fun to work with because you and I got to work together.
No, when
for 2013.
We did this, yeah, when we did this though, the 2013 is like, it's pretty amazing how that's just kind of progressed from what you and I did, and then my brother jumping back in and getting it to where, you know, it's after its primary rack, leaves are clean. We threw it into neutral oak and threw the leaves back in there, and we've been leaf stirring every other week since. So
it's going to be pretty, pretty dense.
It's pretty amazing stuff. I mean, I can't complain. And this in itself, though, the 2012 first year that we did this, though, was pretty impressed with that. We used really specific. We really had white wine is a bigger pain in the ass to make than red wine.
Yeah.
No if, ands, or buts.
Would you agree with the statement that if you want to see what? Yeah, I would need more of that. If you're going through a winery and if you want to maybe get a preemptive look, yeah, we got more. Come on, guys, drink more.
Anyone?
Lots of us. That can you maybe see a winery's devotion to what they do as a whole in their white wines without even tasting their reds?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, you know, when you flex with white, you can taste it, you can get it. White wine. When you got like Stony Hill and all these guys that have their technique down pat, and even Kistler for that matter, it's amazing how you can tell what they've done, what's going on. Whereas red wine, there's some things to get. A Pinot is one of those ones that can really reflect what's going on, I think, in the bottle eventually. But white wines, what you do to it, there's so many different options. This is ML negative, so no malolactic conversion. It's a happy thing. I don't know.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
It's a really good thing. And, you know, having been drinking this particular vintage of this wine with you quite a bit, because when we'd run out of beer and we needed something cold, chances are it turned out to be this. And it's really come a long way. And it's really just fun to share and fun to drink. And
well, this is a great, I hate to say it, I mean, it's a great sushi wine because you got the salty and you know, soy sauce, if you will, and the wasabi goes great against this too. But moreover, I mean, I find this goes amazing with charcuterie of all bloody things.
With meat, with lots of fat.
Lots of fat. You know, you got that acid and you got that saltiness. The sugar kind of balances out, and you just have some happiness going on.
So we like happiness. Well, talk about Revolver real quick, since this is the Revolver label, and we talked a little bit about the label itself.
Right. So Revolver is nothing to do about a gun. It has to do about a certain album, that a certain band that has influenced me since 1966 when I was born. Oops. But 1966 when the album Revolver came out, I was born. But later on in life, the album was one of the pinnacle albums that kind of like changed the face of music in a lot of ways. That and Rubber Soul. But Rubber Soul Wine Company would be a pain in the ass, and I think, technically we may have issues with trademark. But Revolver is just kind of my love for things revolving around wine, women, and song, right?
Wine, women, song.
Wine, women, and song.
Wine, women, and song. And the revolving of the vintage year, the revolving of need work. I mean, you can come out with so many different fun things to say about how it works.
And there's the word evolve in there.
Evolve in there. You can get really
We've had
creative.
long discussions.
Yeah, like there have been plenty of nights when you and I were roommates back in the day where you'd be on the developer playing with labels until wee hours of the morning. Dementedness might set in around 3 a.m. and
that in Mendocino, but we don't talk about that.
No, we don't talk about Mendocino.
No.
So I'm gonna speaking about that band.
Yes.
And that person's birthday that happens to be today.
So today is George Harrison. So George Harrison, of all the Beatles, though, love Paul. I mean, love Ringo. There's so many different stories with it, but George, though, because my Buddhist bent on life is that he was the one who brought that kind of strange, wonderful spirituality to the Beatles in many ways. And John Lennon and George, well, even Paul for that matter. I mean, but those two really kind of pushed that whole kind of mentality about let's talk about love first and worry about everything else later on. Hence, we have a lot of hearts on our labels and stuff.
Lots of hearts.
Yeah.
And actually, that gives us a really good opportunity because we've got some people who've sent in questions.
Sure.
And I want to bring one of these up real quick. Here we go.
Hi, Brian. I'm Anastasia. Who do you think you identify yourself more with, Johnny Cash or George Harrison?
We've got George Harrison's birthday today and Johnny Cash tomorrow. You're the man in black.
Right.
Apparently there was a memo that I missed out on. I would have worn my black shirt.
It's all good. But to answer the question, the reality is that it depends on what mood I'm in. For me to keep my head straight because I'm full on ADD, right?
Squirrel?
What? Butterfly. A lot of times I have to meditate every single morning. I mean, I relate to George in many ways just because, again, it was like his mantra was about love first and whatever. But at the same time, Johnny Cash, though, I mean, the reason he wore black was until anyone that's in prison finds their way to, say, God, and he's going to wear black. There's a lot more going on than that. But talk about a man who came from pill popping and the bowels of hell, but redeemed himself. And towards the end there, what I find amazing about Johnny is that when June passed on, I mean, June was his world, music and June. And when June passed on, it was pretty amazing that he just kind of pushed to get out what he needed to say when it came to the last series of albums that he did and with Rob Rubin and all these amazing peeps, and just moved on. We got doing covers of Depeche Mode, and you go down the list, 9 Inch Nails and whatnot. But he needed to get that out, and he kept pushing himself until he got it out, and then he passed on.
Do you think, because you talked about depending on what mood you're in, affects whether you identify more with George or more with Johnny? And from what it sounds like you're saying about Johnny, do you maybe, the way you say he has to push to get things out, do you find you do that with wine? Is that something that maybe you go after when it comes to creating new wines, creating new blends, new brands, new varietal, playing with new varietals?
I think everyone here knows I work way too fucking much. Excuse my French, but it's like I work way, way, way too much. But
there's no excuse for it.
Yeah, but it's like I do it because there's a passion to it that's beyond words, and that's what I do. I mean, I can't imagine doing anything else. I mean, I'm very fortunate that I've got a mom and dad that work their ass out for me, and now I've got my brother back, and he's in the cellar, and I have the glorious task of doing paperwork. But
that's the what is that? That's the high end. That's the beautiful part of winemaking is all the paperwork. No. That's what everybody wants to do.
Well, the paperwork, let me tell you, sucks. I mean, this is someone told me it was the third most regulated industry in the United States. So let's say nuclear, thank God, is regulated first and foremost.
Hopefully.
FDA. And then moreover, if you go, then comes alcohol and then everything else. I mean, Wall Street's down here. I mean, it's just really odd that booze, which I think frees the libido, right?
Yes, frees the mind.
Is I think you just garners happiness, and if you can control yourself. I don't know. I'm rambling on, but should we talk about this one?
Let's talk about this one. Let's talk about this one.
So this is a dealie that I did that I started in 1997. 1 barrel, 1 keg. When I was a cellar rat, or actually I went back. That's a long story in itself. Mm-hmm. But I went back to the cellar after tearing my leg apart in 1997. I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to finally go commercial. So I did 1 barrel, 1 keg. So 36 cases, I think, total is what all I did. And
got to start somewhere.
Right. So I was teaching in Switzerland, of all things, American students about food and wine. It was an amazing experience. Did it 2 summers. And then I came back after being in Saint-Emilion and was inspired, and I did a right bank style Bordeaux blend. Back in the day, it was primarily Merlot, Cabernet Franc, and a wee touch of Cabernet Sauvignon. This year, the 2010 is actually primarily Cabernet Sauvignon, 40%, and 30% Cabernet Franc, and then 20% Petit Verdot and 10% Malbec, of all things. Is aged 24 months, all French oak, and the idea was that being inspired when I was in Saint-Emilion, and I'll let you know. You know about the secret. Is that on my front porch I have a Buddhist statue that actually has a stone from the vineyard of Chateau Blanc. Shh, don't tell the French. So
we had John Caldwell on here a little while ago, who's bringing vines into the United States. You're bringing in soil.
Well, I mean, it's the thing is, when I was with the Wine Spectator magazine, I was calling up John Albin and how he smuggled and stuff. It's we had all these smugglers in this valley way back in the day, and I think that was part of my inspiration. I needed to have my touchstone, and that touchstone was a little rock about yay big from the vineyard Chateau Blanc, which has still been one of the more amazing wines of my life. So I think that was inspiration for this. So there was the what if some yahoo who went to culinary school way many years ago decided to turn around and go, let's make a wine right bank inspired. Well, that Cheval Blanc was that kiss. And here it is. This is started doing this in 1997, and we're at a point now. This is 2010. Scary thing. 17th harvest we just got through, you and I, and keep rolling, right?
It was a pretty demented harvest, too, by the way.
Yeah, it was very messed up.
Especially when somebody likes to go out on dates while there are still punch downs to be done and fruit to come in. Jennings?
I was not the date, for the record.
No.
He was the one who helped cover your ass.
No, he insisted, and you were looking at me like I was like a fucking jackass, but wait, did I cuss again?
Deal with it. There's no excuse for it. You just do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Paige.
It's funny. This is just a quick story. My first experience with this wine, I don't know if you remember this, but when I first moved to Napa, and I had just finished my first harvest on the West Coast, and I was looking for a new job, I was working a few shifts a week over at Chiarella's new restaurant.
Chichi, that's right.
And
I got stories about Chiarella.
And you and I had just met a few weeks prior, and you were brought this wine in. You had a bunch of people in visiting.
Oh, that's right. No,
from
China. From China. Yeah.
And I remember you sharing this with me, and it's one of those wines that whenever I drink it, it kind of reminds me a little bit of that weird random moment.
We brought 2001 in particular.
Yeah.
Remember when we did that vertical from 97 all the way to 2009? No, 2010.
Yeah.
Right when it was bottled. That was the one that was in decanter because it was like so bloody tight, right?
Yeah. It's funny how we always talk about stories with wine. We talk about stories. And that's actually a lot of this show is about telling stories. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a story about the wine, a story about a particular vineyard, maybe it's a story about what somebody is reminded of when they drink the wine. And I feel like you and I have built so many stories about whether it's around drinking wine, whether it's drinking bourbon. You'll have some more of that.
Or running around PJs.
Running around PJs. PJ party. How many people in this room come to the PJ party?
Yeah, the nightmare before Christmas. PJ party.
PJ party. And that's really part of what good winemaking is the ability to have a story, transfer that story into the wine, because the wine is a story from beginning to end.
Right.
From the vintage, through its time in barrel, through its bottle, and then once it's in the bottle, who you share with.
The story for me is the song. Because, I mean, like, one of the greatest treasures that I have, that you and I have had, and actually most people here, right, is the pre-Thanksgiving Thanksgiving that we do. So, you know, a lot of it is just like, that is, you know, for me, wine, women, and song, but, you know, wine, friendship, love, and song, it's all of us gathering at the table to have that story, to have that heart, to have that love, all that D, all the above. And that's what's cool about these peeps back here and what we got going on the glass. I mean, all of us that we do here in the Valley is just I mean, it is a lifestyle, but it's a lifestyle that I think you have to have a touch of well, you have to have passion. You have to have that love for what you do, and you have to have that love for what happens in the glass, what happens in the heart, what happens at the table.
You and I don't have passion for anything.
No.
We've never had a passionate conversation once in our life.
No. Mendocino, what?
What? More bourbon. More bourbon.
No bourbon. Right, here, finish that.
You finish that.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
All right, we got 7 minutes, man.
Oh, we got more than 7 minutes.
No,
we have a question.
We got a question.
Question, Jay. Come on, Jay.
Come on, Jay. He's wearing his cowboy. He cowboyed up.
Oh, he's got the gun on.
You got the gun. Jump up.
Jump up.
Show the gun.
Show the gun.
What do you mean, jump
Show the
up?
gun.
There's the gun. Yeah.
Best I can do.
All right, where's your glass?
You didn't bring your glass. How are you supposed to have one?
America does have a very good question, which is something that's notoriously known here in Napa Valley,
What's
which
that?
is your Cabernet Franc, which is very limited release.
Yeah.
But what happens to be the story behind the name of the Fury, which is what you call Cabernet Franc? Inquiring minds, let me know.
Oh, you matched the wax.
I know I matched the wax now.
How can you spin this? Because I know this story personally.
I know, but I don't want to spin this because I care for this person very, 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 very much, and I just want the best for this person. And there we go.
There you go. There's your good spin.
There's my good spin. We all know, but the reality is, it's like, you know. We all know. We all know this story. The reality is that, you know, I care dearly about this person, and.
Well, we all have different experiences with one another, and how we maybe.
Best answer ever.
Best answer ever, right?
And how.
When in doubt, avoid. Never actually answer the question. I love it.
It's not about avoiding the.
It's not about avoiding the
questions, but it's
understand.
like I respect where this person has gone. I respect what she does. I respect that she's amazing woman nowadays.
And the simplest
And that's
answer
that.
is that she came into your life and she left your life in a fury.
I have one issue with this answer, and you keep referring to she as.
He did.
And
He
I
referred to
know,
she.
but when it's about me, I just really find it inappropriate.
Oh, inappropriate. That's how we're going to talk. It's inappropriate.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you, Jay.
I love you, baby.
I love you too.
All right, where are we at? Where are we here now?
Yeah, we're
we're
just
over
jumping
here now.
around. Follow
Okay.
the red dot.
All right, follow the red dot.
They're playing with us like we're kittens.
They're like kittens.
We did that
We
probably.
planned that. No. Okay, so let's talk about this last wine.
Which
So this last wine,
this wine is clouded
you were there for
in a bit of secrecy.
well, big secrecy. You were there when well, you weren't there for when we put the primary blend together. It was one of our other good friends, Jeff. But you were there when this gentleman came in.
Both times, yeah.
Yeah, both times actually. And so Revolver Wine Company, Vine to Vein, my second most rare wine, but definitely my most difficult wine to get a hold of. No ifs, no ands, no buts. It sells out, no advertising, no nothing, no emails, no nothing. It's that kind of crazy. So this is the latest release of the Vine to Vein, or Vine Vein. It's to play on the word vine. This I do with the bass guitarist, emphasis on the bass guitarist of this small band called Green Day.
Yeah.
Happens to be touring in Australia. He was going to try to join up with us tonight, but he's actually en route to his next big gig. Go figure, right? But he and I met at the Taste Room almost 5 years ago and hit it off. Heaven forbid, when it comes to my past, both my parents are ministers. Go figure, I'm a little bit of a punk rocker, right? But the idea was this, that he and I talked for 3 hours the first time we met, came back the next day, met Mum. That's a funny story because he comes in, he's all tatted up, and he picks up his wine, and Mum goes, "So who's that guy? Who's that guy with all the tattoos?" I go, "Mom, that's Mike Dirnt from Green Day." "I don't know who Green Day is." And it's like, "Mom, they fill stadiums. That's how big they are."
Yeah. And they're kind of local.
That's nice. It was like, we'll go on with that. No. So, I mean, what's kind of really wild, though, is that he's actually a big-time foodie.
Oh, huge
foodie. In fact, he and I will talk about food and wine and this, or the three of us have talked about food and wine, in the past. But it's
I mean, you almost feel like he's sometimes in a situation like that. He's less of a musician, and you almost think that he should have just been born and raised and worked here and not.
That's his job, but he kicks ass. I mean, one thing that we really gelled with when it came to our relationship as, bros and whatever the hell you want to call it, but it's like, it is about food. It is about getting to the table. I mean, it is about his family. It is about, and what happens here in the glass. And it's really wild that here I'm hanging out with this guy, and he's just a cool dude.
Yeah,
he's just really a cool dude. But this is Vine to Vein is a blend that he did the first year, 2009. 2 barrels is all we did, and he actually blended 1 barrel. I blended the other barrel. He came up with the blend he wanted to do at my house. It was Super Bowl, go figure. We drank a lot of Guinness. Guinness.
I don't think they remember that game.
No, we could care less about the goddamn game. It was about Guinness and just chilling out. But Guinness is a great palate cleanser.
It is a great palate cleanser. It really is.
So
Guinness and bourbon. It's a combo.
Guinness and bourbon. So we got the first blend done, and then a few weeks later, after he had to do a series of interviews for the next release of his album, he came over to the winery. You were there, and he did that 1 barrel, and then I did the other barrel about a week later. But this is his blend that he does of wine that I make. And 2009 was 2 barrel production. 2010 was a 3 barrel production. He came in the second year, I made him do everything. So we came in, I kind of shut the hell up, and I knew what he wanted to do, because he wants this wine to be a little more punk. His favorite is the Stash. Can we hold up that bottle here? Darling, could you bring that up here? Bring it up here. Bring it up here, baby. Donica Satui, everybody. So this is his favorite wine. Stash is one of those ones that we age for 28 months. This we age for 30 months. So 6 barrel production, 3 barrel production, not much. Very rare, very popular, stupid rare, exceptionally popular. We're just releasing this, and we're already 2/3 sold out. And again, this is just word of mouth. Oh shit, it's released. Oh shit, it's released. And same thing with like a Fury. I haven't even released it yet, and I have people begging Jay for it. Get on the mailing list, just saying. But this one though is kind of true. It's like we want to do something that we call subversive elegance. I mean, I love punk rock. Really I love hardcore rock. I love that whole thing. But then again, I can listen to Janis Joplin, which is rock still yet. But I love Barbra Streisand.
Should we tell everybody about the nights when you and I go dancing to, Etta James?
Etta James.
Should we talk about those nights?
No.
No. Okay. Mendo, Urban?
Yeah, right. So the whole thing, this is 85% Cabernet Sauvignon, so we can call it Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yep.
But it's 10% Petite Straw because he wanted a little more punk element into it. Go figure. Steel toe, Doc Martens, stage diving, boom, hit you in the face. And 5% Petite Verdot. Again, 3-barrel production. That's it. And during bottling, Christina?
Yes.
This man, Mike, was there the whole time. He handled every single bottle. So we hand bottled every single bottle, and he was there the whole bloody time. So this is Christina, darlings. And that day, though, it was just wild. This is that we just had some of the people there didn't even know he was going to show up, and he ended up showing up. He was there for bottling. He was doing punch downs.
He did.
Oh, yeah.
He did everything. Right? You got to speak up.
Mm-hmm. No,
That's
he
the
he totally did.
Yeah.
We put him to work.
Put him to work.
Definitely put him
and
to
Hand
work.
your own wine.
we have video
And that worked.
of him actually hand loading this into a hand bottling station. So, I don't know. It's a good thing. One thing to notice about the color, I mean, this is kind of disturbing, yet at the same time kind of, all right.
It's kind of fun, actually.
So this color is actually matched to, all right, so you know the runway models that, yeah, you go, baby. So, you know Really?
Yes,
Really?
More.
So the color,
Don't stop.
the color of the Vine to Vein, the heart this year is, so you know the runway models, you know, the big things in New York, Milan, blah, blah, blah. So the G strings that the models wear,
The nude
color, is actually matched off that color. But I didn't tell you that. No. Okay.
Come on up.
This is Callie.
Close. Callie.
Say hi, Callie.
Hello.
Hello.
If you could work with any band who is still performing to this day, to create a wine, who would you pick? Anyone?
Hate to say it, but keep it in the family. It would be Led Zeppelin, unfortunately. I think Jimmy Page is a teetotaler now, like my grandfather. And but Jason Bonham, the Bonzo's son, kicks ass. But I would have to say Led Zeppelin, but I think even more so just to have as much fun as I've had hanging out with Mike from Green Day. David Grohl from Foo Fighters.
David Grohl.
Yeah, David Grohl.
Fan.
Yeah.
Fan.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that gets it.
He's a big fan of Napa, too.
He's a
Oh, he's a
big
big
fan
fan.
of Napa. And
He likes to party at Ponchos.
Ponchos.
If you know anything about dive bars.
Rose, I love you, baby. But it's, yeah. So,
answer.
yeah, Foo Fighters.
Cheers.
Cheers, right? Thank you, darling.
Oh, yeah. He loves it up here. Comes up for the film festival every year.
Film festival?
You can get.
Yeah, they're going on tour
There's
soon.
no reason why you shouldn't be making wine for him. With him.
Thank you.
With him.
Right.
With him. Or he's making wine with you.
I don't know.
It's tough making wine with you.
It's not easy being green.
It's not easy being green.
Uh-uh.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick little break because this has been fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to bring in a lot more questions. We're going to talk a little bit about the wines. We're going to drink a whole lot more bourbon. But this initial conversation has been a whole lot of fun. We're just getting warmed up. We hope everybody comes back. If you're on live, stay on. We really want to get your questions. This is when we get everybody interacting. You and I have had our chance to just kind of, bullshit. Yeah, you can say bullshit. Bullshit. And thank you so much to everybody. Thank you, 55 Degrees, Premier Wine Storage up in St. Helena. Thank you guys, everyone, for tuning in. And stay put, because we're going to get some great questions. We're going to have a whole lot more fun. Cheers, baby.
Cheers.
Okay. 5, 4, 3. Oh, let's do this. Staring contest.
What are we doing now?
Take out.
Will they make it out?
Are you gonna arm
What are we
wrestle?
doing?
No.
Continuous
This is an awkward pause.
Yeah, right.
Awkward pause.
Awkward pause. Are we back?
And we're back. Oh, crap, we forgot. We were having an awkward pause, and we completely forgot everybody else. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you, everybody in the audience, for being here tonight. This is one of the best audiences we've had.
Right? Right?
In the dozen or so shows that I've done, this is the coolest audience we've had. We've had some great questions. We're drinking a lot of good wine. don't even know why that's still here. That needs to go away.
No, it's good stuff.
This is the point, though, where it's, we've talked about the wine.
Q&A?
Q&A. It's Q&A. If there is anybody in this audience, not Jay, who has a question they've always wanted to ask Bryan, now is the time.
Doggy style. What? No.
Whoa. If you want to know if it's boxers or briefs.
Polka dot. Tonight.
Jinx.
And sometimes never.
And sometimes never. If there is any question, logged on, anything, let's ask it.
Hi. Hi.
Hello. Oh.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
He's having fun.
Are you single?
Yes.
Ooh.
There you go. Single winemaker. Ladies in the Bay Area. Come find this guy.
I have no life. Yeah, single.
Single. You have plenty of a life.
I know. I love my life.
Gotta come on. Come on. Come on, Cabbage.
Come on, baby. Stephanie the Massive. Oh, my God.
What's up, Damassive?
All right, so
Brian, why don't you tell everyone where you can buy your fabulous wine?
first let's talk about us.
Oh,
We're
everyone wants to know. There's Clippers.
Best non-couple in the world.
Best non-couple, 3 years in a row. Booyah.
Booyah!
She is dating my brother from another. So just so you know. Nonetheless. Where can you buy this stuff? Mailing list. You have to log on. We're actually moving everything from being online with exception of the whites. All the reds are going to allocated.
Have you given everyone the address of your amazing tasting room in Yountville?
Oh my God, it's 6505 Washington Street in Yountville.
Have you given everybody your website so they can join your mailing list?
Oh my God, you can go www.pagewinesellers.com and revolverwinecode.com.
What's your handle? Or
Booyah! No, I don't know what it is.
You can come see me.
yeah,
See
actually,
Christina.
that's a much better
See the
selling.
girls!
Christina, put him out there.
That's it. Love you.
Love you.
Meet it.
Soul sister. Come on.
More questions.
More questions.
I've been told I can't ask.
Okay, I've got a question for you.
Yes.
Here we go. Here's a question.
Yes.
Christmas or wedding season?
For what?
Funny. Bad joke. Bad.
No. Christmas.
Christmas or Thanksgiving?
No. Oh, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving. Although the Plesha Palace and the Massive Maniac, Christmas Eve, that was cool ass shit, right? The Pleshas. That was the shit. But I gotta say though, Thanksgiving, right?
Thanksgiving.
We confit a whole turkey or two.
We fried a turkey.
Damn fryer fucked up this time.
Confit a turkey.
Oysters! We're the oyster girl. Props to, what was her name? What was her name? All right. The oyster girl, right?
Oyster girl, yeah.
Oyster girl bar. Yeah, Alexa. What are we doing?
Good call, sis.
Yeah, the oyster girl. Alexa.
Alexa, yeah.
Right? Chenin Blanc, oysters. Thank you very much. Monica. I know.
Yeah. I mean, how many turkeys were made? I mean, the
3.
sheer just amount of food.
We had a lot of food.
And wine.
A lot of food, right, kids? Lot of food. It was a good time, man.
It was a great time.
No, because again, it goes back to the family passion. God, I'm getting a little buzzed really quick, right? In a half hour's time.
We still have bourbon left.
No, it's gone, bitch.
Well, no. In our glasses.
Oh, okay.
And there's still a little bit in that bottle. I mean, this is the theme now. I was drinking tequila with Steve Reynolds. I'm drinking bourbon with you.
Right.
All I gotta do is find somebody to drink gin with, and I think I'll be sorted.
Right. So,
Come on.
hey, Jay.
More questions.
Jay, can you grab that bottle of the Fury?
Oh, can I grab a bottle of beer?
Can you grab over there, grab the corkscrew.
There we go.
that will make it to your location.
I know,
So
right?
to not
Open it up and
interrupt
bring
too
it
much
out.
of our feed, you're actually gonna open a bottle of Fury for us.
Yes.
Okay,
This is the
good.
2011.
2011. How many
2011.
vintages of Fury have you made?
2003 is when I started. So this is
Three-
whatever it is. It's 2011.
8
2011.
or 9. 9.
I don't know.
Can
You've
I
never
say-
skipped a vintage of Fury.
No.
Once you got the Fury, you kept the Fury, and you've always had the Fury.
I exist because of the Fury.
You exist because of the Fury.
No. I'm almost dead because of the Fury, but that's okay. Nonetheless. You happy now? Smells a little different, right?
It does.
Thank you.
Oh, he's gonna take it. He's gonna steal it. Look, he's trying to run.
There's a good.
He's trying to run away
All
with
right,
that.
hold on. Ready? We gotta get rid of this.
3, 2,
No. Let's do the smaller glass,
let's do the
right?
smaller.
Oh my God.
3, 2, 1.
What? Rinse.
Bling bling.
Rinse. Rinse. Get your glass, babe.
Get your glass. 3, 2, 1. One more time. Okay, Fury time.
Oh, this is so different from that fucking goddamn.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so here's the funny story. No, Jay, stay here. Jay, stay here.
Jay?
Yeah, okay.
This is prima donna, the Fury, fan number 1, right?
I do love the Fury. You can follow me on Twitter at Party, and you will see my love for the Fury, which is one of the most exclusive, hard to get your hands on Cab Franc
Look at that, Jay.
in Napa.
Jay, right there,
Have to
baby.
talk
I
to you.
love it to death. If I could get it every single day, believe me, I've given him a lap dance, and he still wouldn't give me a single bottle. So that's
You give
literally
good lap
what it
dances
takes.
too. I've had his
Oh.
lap dances. They're good lap dances. It's the
I've-
only
I've
thing that
gotten
got me
free
through jury duty one time.
tacos. I've gotten many free things, but apparently it doesn't even give you access to a limited release Cab Franc in Napa, depending on who the
Limited
winemaker
release.
is.
This is like at now it's 350 case
Maybe
production.
if
It's a big, yeah. We made a lot of Cab
It's
Franc.
not a big production, 350 cases,
not.
but it's all hand bottled. But come on,
Hey,
But when you smell it and you taste it, there's nothing quite really like it.
right? Right?
Oh, it's
Right.
seductively smooth. The aromatics alone just make you fall in love.
all right.
There's a reason it's called the Fury.
Well, here, let's do this. Let's take this party. Let's get
I'm like,
Here we go. We got
Wait, do
everybody
we
in
need
here.
the cake out yet?
We have to sing happy birthday to Johnny Cash.
Yes. That's
No,
what
no,
we
to
do.
George and
George.
Johnny. George and
George
Johnny.
today, Johnny tomorrow.
All right, are we gonna sing happy birthday now?
Yep,
Are we this?
everybody.
All right, okay, ready. All right, everyone get in here.
Get in
Everyone get in
here.
here.
Come on.
George and Johnny. Get the cake, get the cake,
Get the cake.
and eat it too.
Who's got the lighter?
Wait. We have a lighter? Yeah. Mendocino what?
You know what?
Oh.
Psychedelic. I'll take
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right, so
Can we like?
happy birthday to George Harrison and Johnny Cash, 2 heroes and then some of my life, makes my life possible. So is mom and dad. It's okay.
Woohoo!
And all these people here, gold in my heart. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. But someone's touching my ass and I love it. Hey! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, George and Johnny. Happy birthday to you. Cheers. Love you guys. Good night. Sweet dreams.
Good night, sweet dreams.
Signing off.
Good night, sweet prince.